Not many of us can add receiving a knighthood to our New Year's resolutions, but Colchester MP Bob Russell can. He's one of 4 parliamentarians honoured in the list.
It was a great honour, obviously a shock. I was not expecting anything like this. I didn't enter public life, 41 years ago, with this anticipation. I just stood for the council, hung around.
Anyone can be nominated for a New Year's honour, but you have to be deemed exceptional to receive one, an accolade that can sometimes come as a bit of a shock.
I'm just staggered, absolutely staggered.
Liz Griffiths from Felixstowe has spent the last 40 years helping children and parents, from supporting playgroups to even helping to refurbish their buildings.
Wherever I felt that I could use my background in teaching to actually help any children who were struggling in school or at home, or parents who were struggling with children who were having difficulties.
Rewards can reflect all sorts of work. Papworth's former heart and transplant surgeon, Professor John Woolwick, is receiving a CBE for his work in healthcare. Not only did he perform Europe's first successful heart and lung transplant back in 1984, but 2 years later, the world's first heart, lung and liver transplant.
A few people say, well, was I lucky? Well, I think you make your own luck. I mean, I don't think it matters what you do in a career. You look at what you can do, you look at what your abilities are, and then you adapt those and see whether you can make a difference, and that's what I did.
A couple of miles down the road, and Cambridge-based broadcaster Clive James is to be made a CBE for his work in literature and the media. Many of today's recipients have spent a lifetime in their field.
It runs in the family, really. As I say, my mum and dad were in St John for, 40 or 50 years each, and my grandfather was the founder member of St John Ambulance in Devon, in Exmouth in Devon. So between us, we've got about 200 years' worth, I think.
That's still 450 years shy of when the honours system first started. But even with such a personal recognition, people are still keen to emphasise that the honour is also a nod to their colleagues. Suffolk Detective Superintendent Alan Caton will be collecting an OBE in light of his work following the Ipswich murders in 2006.
I mean, it's a huge honour, and I think it sort of represents or acknowledges all the work that a lot of agencies have done in Suffolk over the last 5 years since the murder investigation.
Today is the first time that the 75 or so people across our region who have received the honours can let the cat out of the bag.
The letter says, do not under any circumstances tell anyone. And I'm afraid I told my wife.
So after a Christmas of secrets, the only question is what to wear to Buckingham Palace next year.
I don't go for hats. I'm not a great one for outfits either, so it'll be what I've got in the wardrobe, really.
Whatever it is, I'm sure an award from the Queen will definitely be an accessory worth holding on to. Megan Boot, Anglia News.